Hello. Monday morning saw the Met Office name Storm Francis. This storm arriving through Monday night and lasting throughout Tuesday into Wednesday morning, bringing a combination of strong winds, unusually strong for the time of year, and some very heavy rain in places as well. So we do have Met Office yellow weather warnings in force. Here is that storm system way out in the Atlantic at the moment, but it is barreling in. Ahead of it, kind of the calm before the storm. Certainly the winds are pretty light out there for most places for the rest of Monday, but it's not completely dry. I've seen some quite heavy showers across parts of the south. And into Monday afternoon, a continued threat of some heavy showers over southern England and South Wales. One or two lighter showers over northeast England, eastern Scotland. For many, it's a dry and a bright day. Some places seeing a fair bit of sunshine over northwest England and western Scotland, and temperatures getting into the high teens or the low 20s. But the winds started to pick up in the southwest through the afternoon, and especially through the evening when the rain starts to set in through Devon and Cornwall. And then it continues to drift northwards. The yellow colours, the heavier rain, particularly tonight through the early hours across parts of Northern Ireland, but also through Wales, northwest England. It turns very soggy indeed, and all the while the winds starting to increase. With the wet and windy weather, obviously it's not going to be a particularly cold night. Last night, temperatures down close to freezing in parts of Scotland, and so it won't be as cold here tonight, but some sunshine to start Tuesday across the far north of Scotland. But elsewhere, we do have this very wet and windy weather to contend with from Storm Francis. So let's look at the warnings. First of all, with that rain setting in across Northern Ireland, but then spreading in to southern and eastern Scotland and lasting throughout Tuesday. Quite widely, 40 millimetres of rain, and some places could see 60 to 90 millimetres of rain. It could cause some further flooding after what's been quite a wet week or so. Travel disruption certainly likely, interruption to ferry services possible, but certainly also rail and bus services like to be affected by that heavy rain. Then we have the winds, which really start to pick up overnight, and the strongest winds likely across parts of England and Wales during Tuesday into the first part of Wednesday morning. Gusts even inland of 60 miles an hour, and around coast we could see gusts of 70 miles an hour. It could interrupt power supplies, and again some travel disruption is possible. Could affect trees, they're still in full leaf of course, and large waves again likely to be an issue, and so there could be some coastal flooding. That warning of course, as I say, throughout Tuesday and into Wednesday morning from Storm Francis. So it's turning wet and windy almost everywhere. Some sunshine early on over northern Scotland, but that rain sets in through Northern Ireland, southern Scotland, lasts all day, eastern Scotland as well, with the wind from the North Sea. For England and Wales, it turns a bit drier in places, certainly across the south, but there'll always be heavy showers in and around that storm system. You can see the circulation there, and those gusty winds, particularly across the southern half of the country throughout Tuesday afternoon and indeed through Tuesday night. Also, temperatures, well, really struggling under that persistent rain over southern and eastern Scotland. Elsewhere, high teens, low 20s, but feeling cooler with those blustery conditions. Now, the very strong winds and the heavy rain does continue through Tuesday evening, so a continuation of those weather warnings. Further threat of travel disruption. You can see that system is starting to head out into the North Sea. Storm Francis will disappear through the early part of Wednesday, actually. And then we've got a little ridge of high pressure, which means for most of us, Wednesday looking dry and bright. But here comes another low pressure. Now, this one's a completely different beast, nowhere near as many isobars, so it's not going to be as windy, but it will be bringing further outbreaks of rain. Some uncertainty about the track and timing of that wet weather, but that is another area we need to watch on Thursday and Friday before signs of perhaps some sunnier weather arriving as we go into the weekend. But certainly before that, plenty of wet and windy weather to contend with. Make sure you stay up to date with the very latest on the Met Office warnings, and the best way to do that is to follow the Met Office on social media.